I'm an investigative journalist. I've been covering true crime for the last 7 years. And in 2020, I was researching a cult called The Body when I started hearing stories about this missing baby.
And, that is a huge concern of mine, is like, where is this baby? There is this missing baby now that is somewhere. I don't know if it's in the cult, if it's, I don't know what happened to this baby.
Now, this is the sort of thing you don't just sit on, so I started calling law enforcement, and they thought I was crazy. So then I called the FBI and showed them how crazy I was about getting them to pay attention to what was happening.
Immediate service by visiting us at tips.fbi.gov.
Thank you. And what is the federal violation you're calling to report?
I am planning on being Mitch McConnell. And the plot
that you're
to...
planning on Mitch McConnell?
Yeah, Mitch McConnell.
Why are you planning on Mitch McConnell?
Because the FBI won't listen to me. Now, that didn't convince the feds to do anything. But 14 months later, the cops in Eastern Washington found the missing baby.
But tomorrow you might be able to pull up some arrest records in Okanagan County.
I guess there's nothing on there at the moment.
Chris is sitting in jail.
Chris is in jail?
Chris and Stewart were arrested.
We have paperwork allows us to kick in the door. You will not interfere with us in any way, okay? Go ahead and step out.
And the thing that no one would pay attention to, the thing that people didn't want me to talk about, it was proven to be real.
All right, hurry up. They're barricading you. Show your hands! Get on the face! Get on your face!
So this guy, Chris, the father of this missing baby, he tried to skip town with his other daughter. And when the police found him, it was fairly obvious what the cult had done to his mind.
You came to my house, you kicked down my door, you stole my property, my daughter's. There's a lot of people that have conspired against me and testified wrongly.
Okay.
If we look at the results of brainwashing, this isn't a theoretical thing. This is a real life thing. The results of brainwashing, that people get made to do awful things or accept awful things.
Now, the kids got out to safety, and Chris filed this really ridiculous lawsuit, this federal lawsuit, this sovereign citizen lawsuit, where he used all these colored inks and stamps and thumbprints that were totally unnecessary. And when that plan obviously failed, there were these restraining orders in place, and it looked like that was the end of the story.
You're definitely not property, sweetheart.
Yeah, no doubt.
Now, unfortunately, this is not the case. This is going to get dark, just so you know. Chris was arrested on Tuesday in Tonasket, Washington. I'll say first that the kids are safe with their mother. They're getting trauma counseling. But back when this happened, when these events happened that he was arrested for, they weren't safe. And Chris has been charged with some unimaginable crimes. These are terrible, terrible crimes. Now, I don't have much sympathy for Chris. He did a horrible, disgusting, the worst kind of things you could do. But would any of this have happened if it wasn't for the cult leader, Marc Bisset?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but the record has to be clear as to what happened.
Marc's like right here. Gary is kneeling right here, and he grabs Marc's arm and his hand, and he's kneeling beside Marc, and he puts Marc's hand on his genitals, and he says, "Look at me." And I just did not want to look up at that point in time. I kind of knew what was coming at that point in time. And he said, "Look at me," very forceful. And so I looked up, and he said, "Is this undefiled? Or is this defiled?" he said.
And here's something Marc said at church.
Gary put his nuts in his hand and said, "Look at that." I knew it. We were doing orgies. Every man screwed my wife. Yeah, we sure did, man. We horned down like dogs. Had enough now, though. You can have her back. In her white dress.
And I'll just say that, and I've been saying it all along, like, law enforcement needs to pay attention to the guy in charge of this operation, Marc Bisset. And please share this video. Maybe we can make a difference. Maybe something will